Naveen, London, New York, or Asia? When should I actually be trading? When is the best time to trade?
All of them are good, actually, but preferably where the action is. Now, I'm going to circle back to the question that I always ask you. As a trader, what's our job?
To provide service to the big boy.
To provide service to the big boys. If the big boys are not in the office, do we have a job?
No, we are jobless.
We're jobless. If we consider ourselves real estate agents, property agents, right? If the flow of people are now saying, I want to buy, I want to sell, I want to buy, I want to sell in California right now, then we need to be there in California and saying, yeah, I can help you. I can help you. I can help you. But if that flow moves to Dubai and they're active there while California is sleeping, what are we doing in California? It's a waste of time. Go where the action is. Go where the action is, because we're trying to provide a service. We're not trying to predict while the market is sleeping tomorrow, there's going to be a flood of buyers coming in. That's a guessing game to trying to anticipate the market way, way ahead of time. That's too hard to do. It's better to say, got it. I know what they want exactly. And as an agent, if I know what they want, it's so much easier to provide that service, is it not? It might be harder whether you get the deal or not, but at least it's easier to know what you have to do, right? If you know if you get hired by a company and they say, okay, starting tomorrow you work, and you're gonna be there and be like, yeah, but what is my work? They're gonna be like, no problem, you're hired, you do your work. Well, what is the work? See, if you don't have clarity, then you're just wasting time guessing. But if they say, tomorrow I want 40 pages of this paper photocopied, and then you show up and then saying, okay, I'll do it, but then there's another person next to you who also wants to get a promotion, says, no, I'll do it. At least you can compete and fight, but you know what the job is. It's a lot better to enter that arena once it's a little bit clear, rather than predicting, I think my boss will need 40 papers scanned tomorrow or photocopied tomorrow. That's a guess. Does that make sense? So you see the two differences? So go where the action is. So if London opens, the action is hot. If New York opens, the action is hot. If Asia opens, the action is hot. The action also gets hot around news events. So if there's a very major news event, I would recommend, in my opinion, I would say, make a list of the top 5 to 10 news events that really drastically move the market. Look at statistics. What news events have actually moved the market more than 30 pips at a time? That's important. How do you move the market 30 pips to 50 pips to 100 pips? It must be something that's really important to the larger players for them to fight and say, I want it, I want it, I want it. So you need to understand what that is, and then saying, I can provide that service. Now that I have clarity of what my job description is, I'll figure it out. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. But Naveen, sometimes we also see like trades performing during lunchtime, let's say in London. Should we be trading at that time also, or should we focus more? No, this is the more active time, then I should focus on this time, and whatever happened after that, it's not my job.
Okay, so one of the things that I was trained at a very, very early age was look at your tickers. You know your tickers where you have your Aussie dollar, New Zealand, and all those pricing that's blinking? If the blinking has slowed down, there's less activity. I'm not talking about just your currency pair. I'm talking about the entire market. So let's say it's lunchtime, but the blinkers are like blah, 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 blah. They're like blinking really fast speed. It's active. Skip lunch. They're here.
Okay.
Right, remember, we're agents. We go where the action is. If they're not having lunch and they're doing action, then we are doing action. But if the blinker is like, price is 42, 42 and a half, 41, 40.
That's low.
Yeah, you can see how I'm counting them out, and you can almost count 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi in between each of the blinks. That means it's slowed down. There's no point of trading at this time. Even if your technical analysis is as perfect as it can be, nobody is here. What are you doing? Don't touch it. So keep track of the tickers during those phases as well when you're about to enter.